everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today we're going to be taking a look at 8 different brands to check out which one we think has the best holographic formula for their eyeshadows. So here it is, all separated according to brand. You can see some of them only have like 1 or 2, and then there are a few brands that have really been digging into the holo side of things. So I am very excited to check this out, just because the only intro that I had to this was with Glam Shop, because they were the only ones that I had purchased single shadows from that had even anything close to a holographic look to them. And so we will be swatching those as well as literally everything else, and then we will compare which brands we think give the best holographic look to them. So I am super excited to just delve right in and see what we have. There's some mainstream, there's a whole bunch of indie brands, and so it's gonna be super interesting to see what ends up being the best one. All right, so the first thing we're gonna swatch is the Glam Shop ones, since those are for me kind of like the standard that I'm gonna be basing everything else off of. So we have 3 shades from Glam Shop. The first one is going to be their Effect Holo, which is very interesting looking. I can already tell you guys that the formula from Glam Shop is very soft and smooth. So this is Effect Holo right here, and you can really see that holographic shift when it is trying to focus. And you can see that this one has a little bit of kind of a grungy green undertone to it along with that holo shift. So very, very interesting on there what kind of shift we are getting on top. So I'm thinking the way that they end up making these shades is that they have a base layer very similar to a multi-chrome, and then they just put holographic shimmer on top, which is where you're gonna get some of those different shade ranges from. Then the second one from Glam Shop is gonna be Bajir Holo, which is this guy. Definitely a lighter base to it and more of kind of like a pinkish tone to that holo. Ooh! Can really see the rainbow on that one. Look at that. Holy smokes. All right. So far, I definitely think that that lighter base to it is much better for really getting that good reflect, as well as just really letting the holo shine through. So the third and final one from Glam Shop is going to be Holo Chieplo, I think. And that is this guy, which has a copper kind of burnt rose shade base. Definitely a thicker consistency than what this guy was, and absolutely just like a metallic burnt rose base and then a super thick layer of holo on top. So there you can see a little bit of that holo shine as it was trying to focus, and then just a very, very rich coppery burnt rose shade on there. But I think so far this lighter base is really working the most favorable to get the holo to be seen. Then we have from Magical Makeup, this is just a silver holo, and to me it looks just like a pressed glitter formula, and that is definitely what it is feeling like in the pan. Oh yeah. gotta be careful. I'm getting glitter everywhere, but there's your holographic glitter. So if you are a fan of pressed glitters, this would be a great one, because it is just a gorgeous silver holographic shade. It is not a pressed eyeshadow the same way that the Glam Shop ones are. But because it is a pressed glitter, you would definitely need like a glitter primer or glitter glue of some type. Then we have from Pretties for Your Face the shade Abyss, which is a little bit of a gritty feeling shadow. Looks like this. It's got a black base to it, and then what looks like holographic sparkle, but very hard to see once you actually apply it. So I would say, because this is what it looks like in the pan, so you can ever so slightly see a little bit of the holographic sparkle on there, but not a whole lot. And so it is very, I would say the consistency is a little bit too gritty for what I would like. It's a little bit rough and dry, so I would say perhaps using like a setting spray with this one might work really, really nicely to get the shimmer to come out a little bit, because it's not a pressed glitter at all. It is definitely a pressed shadow, and so I would say, yeah, just probably using a setting spray on the brush after you get the product on there would probably have this one show up a little better, because right now it's a little bit more like those satin shades where as soon as you like apply it, all of the sparkle goes away. But next up we have from Copacetic Cosmetics. This is their Rose Quartz shade, and this is also definitely a pressed glitter. So that is this guy right here. Yeah, very similar to the magical makeup one, although I would say that the glitters are a little bit finer on the Copacetic one, and it has a little bit more of a kind of pinkish undertone to it. But there you can really see that holographic reflect on there. Very, very nice. And so again, if you're looking for a nice pressed glitter, that'll do it. Then we have from Colourpop, also a pressed glitter. This is the shade Fire. And I would definitely say that out of the 3 pressed glitters, this one has some kind of additive in it that is making it a little bit softer and a little bit more wet feeling. And so because of that, I was able to get a much like more opaque application of it. And you can definitely see that this has a yellow base to it of the glitter, but still some holographic mixed in there where you get a little bit of the rainbow as it's trying to take a look on there. And so I would actually say so far of the 3 holographic glitters, I like the Colourpop formula the most so far, just because it was really easy to apply. It didn't go absolutely everywhere, like both of the other 2 have kind of dropped glitter specks everywhere else, but this one did not, so that's kind of nice. Although I will say that the holo is a little bit more difficult to pick up just because the yellow is so pigmented. But we do have another option from Colourpop, and that is the Get Lost shade. Ooh, interesting. So this guy is definitely a little bit different than the others. It's also a pressed glitter, but it is different in that the main points of the glitter are almost kind of duo multi-chromish, that it shifts between like a limey green into kind of a goldish yellow, but it also has these little hexagon shaped things that are holographic. So very interesting how that one ends up looking. So you can really see the specks of those hexagon shapes in there, as well as that yellowish to green base on there, which also almost turns kind of pinkish when you pull it back. So very interesting for that guy, but also very similar formula to the Fire shade in that they have some kind of additive with their pressed glitters that makes them apply much smoother, where you don't really need a glitter glue to apply it. Then we have from the brand Enchanted Luster 2 different holographic shades, and these are also very, very different. So the first one up is the shade Just Holo, I guess. And that is this guy, which has a very nice navy bluish to green to purplish multi-chrome on there, but has a few, let me see if I can actually pick up a couple more of them because they didn't really want to stick. Yeah, you would definitely need to use some form of glitter primer with this guy to really get the shards to stick. So it comes across as more of just like a standard multi-chrome pressed shadow, but it has these like little holographic shards in there. And even though I'm saying shards, they are not sharp. Like, it is not what you think. They are just shaped like shards, but very, very soft little pieces of glitter. If you use like a glitter glue or a primer with it, those would probably stick a little bit better. But it's kind of cool to just have like a multi-chrome shadow with these little holographic additives in there. But the second shade from Enchanted Luster, ooh, which is the shade Wish, which is definitely very damp. It feels very squishy, almost kind of like a gel type thing. So that's very interesting, but that is this guy. And so I would say very close to almost being a liquid eyeshadow, but holy smokes, all right. It is a very strong silver shade, but definitely has holographic in it. Like from back here, you can definitely see the reflect of a really nice silver shade. And then as you come in close, you can kind of see the rainbow, but because of how overpowering that silver shade is, it is really hard to catch the holo in there. And you can definitely see that the shade is like a little bit putty, like in the pan. And so that's a very interesting formula. None of the others are like that at all. And so you don't need any additive with that guy because of the nature of the formula. Like, you can just apply that straight on. The only thing I would say is that just because of how strong that silver is, the light, it's kind of difficult to catch that holographic nature of it, but it has a really beautiful reflect no matter what. And in person, you can see the holographic, but it's not quite the same as some of these others where you're really able to see the rainbow. All right, so then we're gonna move on to the last two brands, and so we're gonna go on to this hand for those. And there are quite a few shades from both of these. So I am really, really excited to see, because these were the two that I felt like are probably gonna be the best competition for the Glam Shop holos, because they're also pressed eyeshadows, and the swatches I saw on Instagram of these are very good. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the Pastel Roses, which is one of my favorite indie brands from the UK, and they have 5 shades of holographics. So the first one is gonna be the shade Outer Space, and here we go. Again, a little bit more of a gritty feeling to the shadow, a blue base to it, almost bluish to purple, but you can really see the rainbow on there. Very, very pretty. That is super duper nice, and it definitely goes between that purple to the blue shade on there. Very nice. Then the second shade is gonna be Multiverse, and this guy looks like it has a bit more of like a purplish, oh yeah, kind of purple magenta on there. Doesn't quite show the holographic as much as the navy one did, but you can definitely see that there's that sparkle on top. But yeah, I would say that the holo is kind of blending in with the purple a little bit more on that one. Then we have the shade Bonbon, which is kind of like a pretty burnt rose shade. Ooh, very pretty. Kind of goes from orange to burnt rose. A little bit of yellow in there as well. But again, I kind of feel like, oh, this one is definitely a duochrome where it goes from yellow to kind of pinkish orange. So very pretty as far as the base shadow goes, but I would say kind of similar to the purplish shade, you're not picking up the holo quite as much as you are on this shade. And like in comparison to these guys from the Glam Shop ones, significantly less holo showing up. Even this dark one is really showing that holo on top, whereas with these guys, I'm not getting that quite as much as I was with the Glam Shop ones. Then we have Osiris, which is kind of like a yellowy shade, and this one is also a bit softer but chunkier feeling than the other three were. Oh wow. Oh yeah. I definitely feel like that one is very, very pretty, and even in person, I'm able to see the holo quite a bit better on that one than I was on these other two middle shades. But very, very pretty. And that reflect on that one is super beautiful. And then the final one from Pastel Roses is going to be Euphoria, which is also a softer formula. And this guy definitely has a shift between like pinkish to green to maybe kind of purplish, and then the holo as well. So you've got like pink with a little bit of like a green sparkle on top to a little bit of a purple, but then also very much that kind of silver catching in the light for like the holo shimmer. But with that one, so I think that's just a stunning eyeshadow. I would not say that it is showing the holographic though as much as these other ones are, just because again, I kind of feel like they just, it's like a glitter for the holo that is just resting on top of each of these, and you almost need that darker base for this particular formula to get the holo to show up, whereas with the Glam Shop ones, you see it better with the lighter one, but you can definitely still see it with the darker. And so I feel like the way that they did their formula, it incorporated the holo better to where it's not just like resting on top the way that it is from the Pastel Roses. But still really, really beautiful shades. Like this gold shade is just gorgeous. Like I would wear that any day of the week. And then the final brand that we have is gonna be Touch of Glam, and I have 7 holographic shades from them. So very interested to see how these end up turning out, because of all of the different shades that we have looked at, these look the most like just regular eyeshadows, but that shift in a holo way. So very, very interesting, because they do not look like pressed glitters at all. Oh yeah, and it feels so soft. Very nice and smooth consistency. So that's gonna be super interesting to see how that is showing up. So this first one is going to be Dragon Holo, and already very much a multi-chrome. It has like a deeper base to it, and then shifts from like a teal blue to kind of an evergreen to a purple, and the holo is definitely incorporated into the formula. So there you can see that darker base, but you can also already kind of see that shimmer on there. And then we've got the purple as well, and then when the light hits it, you can see the silver nature of the holographic. But again, in comparison to the Glam Shop ones, I mean, stunning shadow. I would say very kind of similar with the evergreen tones to this guy, but you can definitely see the difference in which one has the holo standing out more. Ooh. On my finger though, holy moly, look at the reflect of that guy. That is gorgeous. Oh. Next up is gonna be Ghost Holo, which looks like a lighter formula. Oh yeah, that'll do it. It's like an iridescent hologram. Oh, that is stunning. Like, oh, yep, that's right up there with the Glam Shop ones. All right, so definitely the Ghost Holo. If you're wanting a really nice holographic shade, get the Ghost one, because that is right up there with the Glam Shop one. Then we have Lucid Holo. Looks like purple as the base. Oh, very interesting. Okay. Kind of also has, again, it's like the lighter version of this guy, where it goes between like kind of an evergreen to like a teal blue to a purple, but just the lighter variant. And so I would say you can see the holo a little bit better on that one than you can on the darker one, but still this guy is by far the best out of the 3 for the holo so far. Oh, but on my finger, this one looks absolutely gorgeous. Like that is, oh. Then next up we have Honey Holo. Okay, very interesting. Ooh, this has got like a yellow to copper to kind of pinkish look to it. So that's very pretty as far as like the shift goes. But again, I would say the holo is not coming through quite as strong as it does on this one. Very interesting how these guys are turning out. I almost wonder if it's something where like the holo is too incorporated into the formula, so you do lose it a little bit. Then we have Pink Holo. Ooh. So that is a darker base again, and the shift is gorgeous on this one. This shift is like from like a grungy pinkish to a copper to a yellow to a green to a teal. Like it's got like the rainbow holo just as a shift, but very metallic-y. You can see the holo on top of that one a little bit better. So very, very interesting how that guy is showing up on there. Very much a grungy shade as we are looking at that. So very pretty though. You can really see the red to kind of greenish on there. And then on the bottom, you can see a little bit of that holo shift. And now you can also see a little bit more of how the holo shift is coming through on this guy as well. So it really is very much dependent on how the light is hitting it for these guys. Because like on my finger, each of these looks stunning with like the amount of like holographic sparkle that is coming through. So it's just very interesting that when it's swatched, it just really kind of depends on how the light is catching it to whether you can really see it super heavy or not quite so much. Then we have Royal Holo, which is a nice blue base. Oh, that is very pretty. Kind of shifts between blue and purple on there. But I would say as far as the deeper tones go, this one shows the holo the best to me. This one is kind of returning back to the level of this guy, where it really kind of depends on how the light hits it to whether you're going to be able to catch the holo on top or not. And then the final shade is going to be Hello Holo. And if there's a single shade in here that's going to catch it, it's going to be this one, because this is a solid silver holo. So, oh yeah, can definitely see the silver. It's so smooth too, a little bit more sheer as you swatch it though, which is very interesting. But there you go. There it is, and you can see that rainbow just going right across the middle of it, and really beautiful silver. You can really see it on my finger. I mean, look, all of these on my finger look amazing. And so I would guarantee you that all of these from Touch of Glam, if you use like a glitter primer, your eyes are going to just be sparkling like a rainbow. And so like this is definitely gorgeous. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh my gosh. But that is everything that we have now swatched, and I definitely feel like for pressed glitters, you know, Colourpop didn't do half bad. Neither, I mean, really all three of the brands did a decent job. It is just a very nice, sparkly, holographic glitter. So really Copacetic, Magical Makeup, or Colourpop, you're gonna get a good pressed holographic glitter on there. But as far as the pressed shadows go, I was not super impressed with the Enchanted Luster ones, and especially like looking at them now. This guy, now that it's dried, you can see a little bit better the holo on there, but I still feel like not a huge fan of that formula. I think that your best is still Glam Shop. That to me is just so gorgeous. I think the next one is definitely going to be the Touch of Glam ones, because these are just gorgeous shadows in general. Like even from afar, if you weren't seeing the holo, they are beautiful duo multi-chrome types of shades. And then when you get in close, like this guy, you can definitely see the rainbow. This one, absolutely gorgeous. I really enjoy the grungy nature of this one. So definitely Touch of Glam, very solid. I think that the Pastel Roses ones, like this shade, gorgeous. The blue, it also showed up really nicely. So I would say Pastel Roses comes into a solid third place. And so it really just depends on what kind of formula you're wanting, but all three brands really great. But I still think Glam Shop is the best of the three, as far as if you are just wanting nothing but holo, that's the brand to go with, because that is just all of the rainbow on there. Really gorgeous. I did want to show you guys in just regular bathroom lighting the holo on there. So you can definitely see, these are the Pastel Roses ones. Very beautiful. You can really see the holo. And then Touch of Glam, look at this amount of sparkle on there, like freaking diamonds on my arm. Absolutely gorgeous. You can really see the holographic on there as it's trying to focus. So gorgeous. And then we have my other arm, the Glam Shop. As always, super sparkly. Although I will say in this lighting, I feel like the Touch of Glam and Pastel Roses ones look almost a little bit better. And then we have the pressed glitters. Gorgeous. And then we have the Enchanted Luster ones, which I still feel like, in comparison to everything else, not quite as great. But I did want to show you guys a different type of lighting just so you could see what else we have going on. But I would love to know what you guys think of everything. What do you think of all of the swatches? Is there a different brand that I swatched that you feel like is a little bit better? Is there a brand that I have not tried yet where you're like, I can't believe you haven't seen it yet? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know if there are more brands that have come out with holographic shades recently. I think this is super fun. It's especially with a touch of glam ones to have a take on multi-chrome shadows, but adding in the holo on top of it is like the next level of multi-chromes. So I thought this was really, really fun, but I would love to know what you guys think of everything. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you did not, and if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. Come join my family here. We talk a ton about indie brands. We do really colorful makeup. We swatch absolutely everything. And I do also have my birthday giveaway going on right now. You guys have until this Saturday, the 30th, to enter. So make sure you check out my video from Sunday that was my speed reviews if you want to know how to enter. But other than that, you guys just go have a good one.